Reebok gets the backup.
How'd they do after a couple-day break?
You know what? Disappointed with some of the younger guys. You know, and you can just see the maturity factor in what comes in. You know, the older guys, I don't know if the older guys grinded through that couple-day break, but, you know, kind of know what they're doing, so it shows that they just pick right up and go. You can see the younger guys a little sluggish that, you know, I mean, it kind of disappointed in that minimal stuff Friday, Saturday was a scrimmage. Minimal stuff Friday, Saturday scrimmage, off Sunday, Monday pretty much. That I think they were exhausted, they were tired, they shut it down, it showed today. Instead of physically shutting it down and mentally picking it up over those days and really kind of grinding through their notes, playbooks, scheme. And, you know, so a little bit sluggish, a little bit sloppy at times today. And, you know, we just got to keep them in that rhythm, as you know, and it's the transition time. Did some scout work today. You know, so I mean, you look at all these freshmen, you know, and guys showing, you know, new walk-ons, their first time on scout team, just figuring out how to even practice. You know, they're probably, you know, not used to doing that in high school, and scout teams are a lot different in college, I'm sure, than they were in high school for these guys. So that adjustment is all taking place this week.
I'm going to ask you about the scout work and just what do you try to get through the young guys' heads as far as doing that job?
It's learning how to practice. It's learning how to give great effort, learning how to play and improve your technique. But I don't need you like diving for, you know, we don't need guys diving for the ball on the ground, getting people hurt. It's, you know, it's a, you know, for us, it's more of a teach tempo. It's great fundamentals, great technique, great execution, but it's not live, go to the flying to the ball stuff. And as young guys, it's kind of hard to learn to practice that way, you know?
Yeah.
That's a good, I mean, even watch it today, we might do one non-padded practice at some point this week, so that next, you know, when we do our Thursday non-padded practice, they're not completely clueless on how to practice without pads on even.
Go
ahead.
What did you coaches do with yourselves like a couple of days? Just review some practice film, try to figure some things out?
Yeah, you know, what we did is really get in and watch all the cut-ups of training camp. See what was good and bad for us. You know, I mean, it's as a coach sometimes when you draw something up, you think this play is going to be great, and in your mind you're convinced it's going to be great, and statistically, and you know, and on the video it doesn't back it up. Then you either got to make a change, you got to tweak something, or don't do it. And you know, so really just been studying that stuff, getting in and kind of grinding through those cut-ups of training camp of what these guys are executing well. Because even though something might draw up well, personnel-wise, we don't execute it very well. And then we got to tweak and do stuff that our guys do well.
So it sounds walk-ons you've decided to give scholarships to yet? Have you gotten to that point?
No. You know, I mean, you know, what we do, we kept Dwayne Sherrington and Sylvester Hemphill on scholarship. And they were former walk-ons that were on. They were on one-year scholarship last year, because they've done a good enough job of staying on scholarship for us.
You got about 3 spots?
Those 2 right now. That was it.
Okay. Y'all at 120 now. Any notable additions?
We're like, I think we were 130. I don't know what we were today. We're gonna sort it out over. You know, I mean. We'll see who shows up tomorrow. Whatever we were today, I imagine we'll be down 1 or 2 tomorrow, and 2 or 3 the next day, and probably lose about 5 to 10 guys in this first week when they're like, this is not what I thought it would be like. And, you know, then we'll kind of have our 120-ish, 120, you know, kind of roster at that point.
Brian Egan's back now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's out there.
The pads
Him and Charlie Granfield and who else out there? A bunch of kickers out there.
So Dan, it sounds like
yeah, he's already been out there. Huh? Who's our other kickers?
Devin Bell.
Devin Bell. I mean, they're about 50. There's a ton of
I don't
them
know
out
who all
there.
those
There's a
were.
bunch of them out there. So Berg's out. I mean, you name it, they're all back out there.
So Dan,
Picking around.
it sounds like that, you know, maybe the effort was high today, but the execution wasn't at a level you were. Just they were maybe going 100 miles an hour, but not in the right way.
I'm not disappointed with how the guys tried and all that stuff. You know, it's kind of the mental focus part that was a little sloppy.
So who's coaching receivers now? Don't figure that out.
Yeah, like we have in the immediate plan, like an immediate plan, a short-term plan, long-term plan. And short-term and long-term, I'm still working on. In the immediate plan, I coach the receivers today. I want to have a short-term plan figured out by the end of the week. And the short-term plan and the long-term plan could be a combo plan. You know what I mean? You might have a short-term fix that turns into a long-term fix, or a short-term fix that is going to be a short-term fix through the season. We're going to figure that out in the next couple days.
What have you seen from, I know Ballard was kind of the guy after his junior year, about midway through, and then last year. How have you seen from Ladarius?
You know, I mean, I've seen him kind of step into that role. I mean, he's performing at a very, very high level. You know, obviously, do I like the way the other guys are battling, you know, for that spot? And it gets to that, you know, we're like 15-7 last year, 14-6, right around that area, you know, I don't know if it's going to be exactly that right now. Mm-hmm. You know, I know Perkins probably be the high end. I mean, he'll be our starter. But, you know, we're going to roll those guys through, and how many reps each guy get, we're going to still evaluating those guys over the next, probably over the next 4 to 5 weeks, evaluate those guys to see how the pecking order sorts out.
Have you seen Nick? You talked about a couple of weeks ago, wanting to see him get his confidence in his knee and test it. Have you seen him do that?
I see him, you know, you see at times he's still a little bit hesitant, you know, it's all the mental aspect of times. When he lets it go, you know, you can see he's back and he'll let it go at times. Then you see other times, you just see him think about it. You know, we go live scrimmage sometimes and he gets, sideswiped. You see him kind of pop up a little hesitantly, but, you know, then he feels, hey, I'm okay. That's what he's building his confidence back.
How are the receivers dealing with, you know, not having Angelo out there after Saturday's scrimmage? And
we did a lot of blocking drills with me today. I'm kind of an old school guy, so they're kind of like wondering, I think somebody else should coach the receivers tomorrow. No, you know what? I think the fact that we have a mature group certainly helps. You know, when you have guys that have played a lot of football, the leadership in the room, you know, they run the room themselves, the older guys. So it's you know, with Chris and Arcito and Chad, you have some maturity in that room, and the younger guys are just going to follow the old guys. So the older guys act like, hey, we're going to take care of our business, and the younger guys just follow suit.
What the past couple of days been like for you, not having Angelo here? I mean, a guy that you've been around, he's helped bring up through the coaching ranks, and now all of a sudden he's not here.
Yeah, tough deal. It's always rough duty, you know. You know, you're working one man down in the staff, but you know, I mean, today's really the first day we've been back on the field. So today, you see it more when you're doing football stuff, where you're down a guy.
So is the message to like a Les Kenning or John Hevesy or Scott Salich that you now have more responsibility, or is it just coach the guys and know you normally would, and I just can't oversee everything like I would? You know what I'm saying?
Like I said, we're going to figure out over the next couple of days what the plan will be for all of that. You know, right now, take care of your business. I'll take care of the rest.
Okay.
That's my responsibility as a head coach. That's in the immediate. You know, everybody else, you take care of what your job. Everybody do their job, and I'll make sure that everything gets done that needs to be.
Is it possible that you would ever welcome Angelo back? Is that door open at all, or is it?
We'll see in the future. You know, we'll see. I mean, it'll be.
Is it possible?
Yeah, well, there's always going to be a possibility. Anything's possible.
Does he have,
in this world.
Does he have looking for another job plan, or just trying to deal with his personal issue?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into all those personal at this time. That stuff.
Well, spending some time with the receivers, did you learn anything today? A little more hands-on than usual, I guess?
No, I mean, I don't know that I learned anything.
I
was more hands-on than usual, yeah. I guess the practice, you know, I kind of jumped. It was different. A lot of times I'm jumping around. I'm spending a couple minutes with this position group or that drill or this drill, and I was kind of with them today during individual stuff and the group periods.
The frustrating part of that is you can't, when you go like 11 on 11, I mean, it doesn't seem like you can oversee everything at that point, even as a head coach. You still have to be worried about
your
Brett position
Elliott.
group now.
I had Brett Elliott, our GA, was working substitution with them and all, and taking care of them. Kind of when we go 11 on 11, he's getting the guys on the field. And you know what I'll be able to do now is coach. We got time. Again, you're not in game plan week right at the moment, so we have tomorrow. We'll watch today's film, make the corrections, and I'll be able to do that with them in meetings.
Anything new with kicker, punt return guys? I mean, it's going to be the same thing from last year. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Bumpfest Banks.
Do you feel comfortable with the 3-4 guys you used last year?
I mean, you look at
that's
our
gonna be
2
the same
punt
thing?
returners, our 2 kick returners are returning this year. So there's a comfort level there with those guys. In the short term of stuff, I do like some younger guys coming up, and whether they do the job this year with so much experience we have or not. But I like the guys watching them return today. I mean, like Holloway and Giles and Grindle. I think they did some good jobs in the return game. Now, again, are they going to pass the other guys to get the playing time or not this year? I don't know. We got to see over the next 10 days.
You look back at last year in kick returns, and then you guys were, I think, like 4th to 5th to last in the nation in average. When you look back, what was the problem?
Inconsistency. Inconsistency. Kick returns play, and if you miss a block on the offensive line, it's not going to be a very good play. And most of the season, what we got into and the stress on those guys was that it wasn't. I don't think that we had a group issue. We had an individual issue, and it was a different individual at a lot of different times. And so what ends up happening, especially when you look statistically, Jamion Lewis catches a ball and runs out of bounds. That's a 0-yard return. When you do that twice, that's 2 0-yard returns. So your statistics start to drop. And then we'll have one guy miss a block, and that ends up being a 5-yard return instead of a 30-yard return. And so, at times, I think when you look at it, it wasn't that it was all bad. It was one glaring mistake would cost the return. Just like, if you're running inside zone to the right and the right guard falls down, the defensive tackle makes a play for -2. That's not it's a bad play at that point. Now, doesn't mean that everything was terrible on the play. It means we had one breakdown, and that was one of the things that really saw, and it was really glaring in the kickoff return.
Y'all, did Jackson stay ahead in?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. What do you see now?
I haven't studied the offense as much as the defense, right, and to this point, but just the initial one. The one thing you see is a team that's a pretty good football team, won a lot of football games last year, and I think they have 9 seniors and 2 juniors on defense. So there's a lot of experience. There's a lot of veteran guys, which always is a challenge. You get in, especially in a game 1. For us, we're going to be breaking in some new guys, and they're going to have some veteran guys. I think they got some guys that I was watching the film that played here 4 years ago. They got some guys that they played in the stadium before.
Well, they have 9 seniors and 2 juniors.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Starters.
Okay.
I think I'm looking at their starters. 9
Just
seniors.
had, and I was like, wow,
No.
they're going to be really young.
No. They
Okay.
have. There's
Okay.
current starters that look like what we had for their current starters of 9 seniors, 2 juniors. So with that group, most of those 9 seniors, a bunch of them, I don't know how many of them were JC kids, but they were here. So we have guys that are playing in our stadium for the first time. They have guys that have played in our stadium before. So, for them, that's what makes it a dangerous outfit. And, I know they have a talented offense. They put up huge numbers offensively last year. I know that. So.